Hello, everybody. I'm Eric J. Chambers, president and founder of the Tubman Till Museum in Orange County, California. We're coming to you with a special edition of the Cut Chronicles from the Association of African American Museums Conference here at the Hilton Hotel at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's take a look at some of the festivities going on this glorious day.
You hold the heartbeats to my life. You know what makes me feel alright. Sometimes I know I hurt you so, but I could never let you go. With you beside me, girl, your love to guide me, girl, and out of this whole wide world, I got you.
Once again, we're coming to you from the Association of African American Museums here in Baltimore, Maryland, where we are having an amazing time. Not just me, but listen to what some of the event goers had to say about their experience.
This is a great opportunity, I think, for African American museums to gather and to collaborate on ideas and come together to unify what they're trying to do so that they can also have an opportunity to believe and have the hope renewed into them.
It's really exciting. This is my fourth AAAM conference, and so it's really exciting because it is kind of like a HBCU homecoming, a family reunion of sorts. So it's always exciting to get to see the people that I really only get to see once a year. So it's exciting from that standpoint, and then it is also exciting this year that I received the Pacesetter Award during the luncheon. So a lot of excitement all around. It's important for me to be a part of AAAM because I'm in the museum field. I work at the Institute of Museum and Library Services, and so AAAM, which is the Association for African American Museums, it's just important to stay knowledgeable about what's happening in our field. And it's important, as being a federal funder, that I make sure that people who are in AAAM and the members and the institutions are aware of the funding that's available to them.
Oh, this is the best. I've been coming to this space now for about 9 years. It's been family since year one, and our family is just getting bigger and bigger every year. We have authentic conversations. I have networks that never die, and it just made me a better museum professional, better museum leader. It's always a reunion, and that's the beauty and the magic of this space. Even with our first-timers, I've had a great conversation with a lot of first-timers, and everybody's really feeling the authenticity of the space, the mission-driven work, and just really the realness of the people that they get to speak to. I had one person comment to me saying that they're so used to people being arrogant and just trying to pump their chest. You just don't get that here.
Times events like today are compared to the system. Stay on the battlefield.
I believe it's so important that we keep these stories about our history alive and truthful. There's been an assault on our legacy, particularly our historic legacy. And as a graduate of Morgan State University, I was informed by great scholars, Dr. Benjamin Quarles, Dr. Roland McConnell, and they always said to us as students, Dr. Quarles, I remember him saying, history is his story, H-I-S, story. And it's important that we tell our own stories, because without telling our own stories, we stand the risk of having to deal with untruthful stories. And I think we find that very present today with efforts to try to suppress the story.
working in political campaigns, I also found religion. I found a place called New Psalmist Baptist Church.
Raleigh, North Carolina, was raised on the campus of Shaw University, the oldest historically black college and university in the South, where Ella Baker had the foresight to call forth young people to stand up to form the the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee in 1960.
There's a little Baptist church on the side of the road. On occasions such as this, we said, my soul got happy. I stayed all day. My spirits are high. I stand before you with utmost gratitude and humility. To be recognized by this outstanding association with the John and Margie Kennard Award.
As soon as we brought and started having conversations about bringing AAAM to Baltimore, Dr. Jones is one of the first people that I called. Number one, she's a Howard grad, I could not. But the first thing that she said is, Vedette, whatever you want, you got it. And I said, I want everybody who had anything to do with any protest movement on this stage. So thank you for delivering. I appreciate you. And thank you all for your time.
Well, I think this has been an amazing conference, and it's growing every year. I mean, when I think way back in the day when I used to come to this occasionally in the 80s and 90s, this was half the size of this. Half the size. So it has grown by leaps and bounds. Oh, it's always important for me to come to be around like-minded people who appreciate history. I think that you benefit from having conversations with people who think like you and share your values. Because in today's world, it's difficult to keep the struggle and fight for accurate history when you can't renew yourself and be around folks that feel like you. So that's why it's important. And that's why I've met several people here that have other people tell them they don't ever miss this conference for that same reason.
The sessions have been great as well, and the plenary sessions, talks, not just interesting, but educational. I learned things that I needed to know that I probably wouldn't have learned any other way. So it's really filling a gap in my museum education and in my museum community.
It's been a very inviting event. I've got an opportunity to network with so many other museum professionals, founders, board members, docents, you name it. Everybody's here trying to network and find out how we can tell the story, tell our story in a place where our story has been hidden and is trying to be erased. And so it's important for us to network and understand the dynamics of how we connect these stories across the continent here and make people aware of the importance of African American history and our building of this great nation that we live in today.
I think that AAAM is the greatest resource center for us to be able to identify social capital, identify other people just like us throughout the United States, where we have the similar hunger for telling truths, for telling our narrative and our narrative only. It is important that Black people reach back and speak the truth of our history because it's not being done daily.
The Association of African American Museums is just such a critical organization that is supporting our Black institutions, and the Lucas Museum understands the need for telling all stories of all ethnicities, and so we really wanted to be here to be a sponsor to support the great work that is happening here. This is my first AAAM, and I think one of the things that stand out in my first impression is just how much of a family reunion people say it feels. The idea that there's been such a wonderful community that has been established here, that there's a wonderful network, and so for me, beyond all of the wonderful sessions and programs, I think it is the true connections that the institutions are having here at this place that's really standing out for me.
Once again, everybody, I'm Eric J. Chambers of the Tubman Till Museum of Southern California. We're coming to you again here from the Hilton Hotel in Baltimore, Maryland. at the Association of African American Museums Conference. Joining us right now is the past president. Her name is Kathy Hambrick. Kathy, how exciting is it seeing basically a family reunion of museum curators and directors?
Well, every August, this is like a family reunion for Black museum professionals. I've been a member of this organization since 1996. I am the founder of the River Road African American Museum on the Mississippi River, sugarcane plantation country, Louisiana. That museum opened in March of 1994. I joined this organization in 1996 and attended the first conference. My first conference was in Chicago when the DuSable African American Museum hosted it. And the DuSable African American Museum was the first Black museum in the United States, founded by Dr. Margaret Burroughs, who is also a native of Louisiana from St. Rose, Louisiana. So she became my mentor, and every conference that I would come to since 1996, I would sit with Dr. Burroughs on the bus, going to the receptions.
So you had a chance to meet her.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And she always saw me as a homegirl.
Okay.
You know, she would always say, hello, homegirl, and give me some dap and say, keep up the good work, and always would give me words of encouragement, because this is difficult work. This is hard work. Hard work for those of us who are founders of museums, but also hard work for those young people that I think about today who are in that second generation trying to find their way in museums that are predominantly white institutions. And so this is like family. You meet people who you can call on throughout the year, who can give you pointers and tips about anything related to any subject, whether it's about Black history, whether it's about collections management, whether it's about conservation, preservation, how to deal with the politics of your community, how to write a grant, how to do a strategic plan, any of those things that we need to know to be professionals in this business. This is where you learn from some of the best in the country.
Absolutely. I've had a ball getting around networking and talking to people, and there's so much more to learn. Of course, I'm new at it, and I thank you for telling me about this in our conversation about a month and a half ago. And immediately after we hung up, I went to the website, decided to make sure that I came here to be a part of this. What inspired me to get into it was watching, in our hometown of Slidell, Louisiana, watching A Woman Called Moses, the story of Harriet Tubman that starred Cicely Tyson. And then after that, watching Roots. So those are the two catalysts that really inspired me to want to learn more about our history and become a historian, especially in my own family. Final question, tell us what you're doing at the Amistad Research Center in New Orleans.
So as of 2023, I am now the executive director of the Amistad Research Center. And the Amistad is the largest independent repository of Black history in the world. We have over 900 plus collections of rare documents and manuscripts from South Africa to West Africa, the Caribbean, the UK, France, to all across America, South and North, East and West. We also have 1,100 works of art by masters of art, African American masters of art from the 19th and 20th century. So Jacob Lawrence, Elizabeth Catlett, John H. Johnson, Richmond Barthé. We have original paintings, sketches and sculptures by these African American artists. People come to us to do research from all over the world. We provide, through our loan agreements, documents to museums all over the country and all over the world. Right now, as I speak, we have one of the two original diaries by Mary McLeod Bethune that are on exhibit at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. I think, I might have been at the Amistad the first week in 2023, and one of the first loan agreements that I signed was where we were sending the original funeral program of Ida B. Wells to the Abraham Lincoln Museum, Presidential Museum and Library in Illinois. So I want to say that to my colleagues up at Moreland Spingarn at Howard University, and to my colleagues at the Schomburg, that is a part of the New York Public Library, my colleagues at the Avery Research Center down in the Carolinas, that there is not, shout out to all of my archives, Black archives, there is not a Black history museum or a museum in this country that does not use the archives for the content to curate a history exhibit. And so the Black archives are just as important as the museums, because truth be told, from the stacks of the Amistad and the other Black archives in this country.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for shedding light on what you're doing. I just got educated standing here next to you, and also just shedding light on the history of this phenomenal organization.
And thank you. Thank you for having me, and it's great to see you. I look forward to seeing you again next year.
Absolutely. What we're going to do right now is take a look at more of the festivities going on here.
I know it's been hard to find your way. In a world that seems to have come undone, seems to have come undone. And I know you've been looking for a change, almost convinced it will never come, never come. Sometimes in a place where
I am a product of a museum studies program, graduate museum studies program at Southern University at New Orleans. That graduate program is still in existence. I'm also a former professor within the program. I say that to say that a former AAAM president, Kathy Hambrick, who is now the director at Amistad Research Center, she's the former president of AAM. She's a graduate of that museum studies program. She's also a former professor within the program. So when Mr. Jeremy, when he mentioned that Morgan State, and kudos to Morgan State, we are so excited to see Spelman jumped on board with this, Clark jumped on board. This HBCU alliance, in order to get us into those museums, has been tremendous.
Doing a duration reading of the book.
Yes, so if you attempt to download the audio version of Incidents, you have two options. There is a white woman with a British voice who you're not going to be like to buy. And then there is a second, also white, but neutral voice. And
constantly searching, constantly searching, constantly searching, searching for solid ground.
What can I do to bridge that gap between when I would be ready to take on an entry-level position?
But apply to, just apply. You've already done the internships. At Namak, come on. That's not no Rudy institution.
And when you apply, just don't always go for the first job just because you just need to get the job. Think about, strategically think about your next move and where you want to go, because outside of work, you also have to live.
The Association of African American Museums, what I learned today, actually was previously something known as the Pioneers in the 1970s. And the idea of it was to bring together and to advocate for all of these Black professionals across the country in the same way that we see it at other conferences.
But the distinction between this one and other conferences is the value of Black professionals and creating a space for them when they were excluded from other ones. So today and yesterday has been extremely inspiring. It's extremely supportive, especially for young professionals who don't always see themselves in these majority white positions or institutions. And I think that it's almost like a professional family reunion. So that's the value to me.
I think it's important for me to be here at the conference because I feel like when I came 4 years ago virtually, it was the first time that I saw myself in the field. And I feel like every time I come, I'm inspired to do more. And I also feel like I can do all the things that I dream of because people are already living my dream. And so I really get to connect with them and also with my peers who are also on this same journey.
Once again, everybody, I'm Eric J. Chambers of the Tubman Till Museum of Southern California, bringing you coverage from the Association of African American Museums here at the Hilton at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. One of my favorite parts of this conference happened on Wednesday night when we boarded buses right in front of this Hilton Hotel. Then we motorcaded over to Morgan State University where there was a drum line waiting on us. There was food and, of course, a phenomenal concert featuring the choir from Morgan State University and Sweet Honey in the Rock. Let's take a look. All right, thank you, driver. Once again, everybody, I'm Eric J. Chambers. This is a special edition of the Cut Chronicles, where we chronicle urban life. I'm so delighted at this time we have the president of the Association of African American Museums with us. Her name is Dr. Vedette Coleman Robinson. Dr. Coleman Robinson, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the wonderful time that I had in Baltimore. That was off the chain. I'm still trying to come down from that. I was on cloud 9 for about 4 or 5 days there.
I'm happy to hear it. Happy to hear it.
So tell the people what the AAAM is all about.
Sure. The Association of African American Museums is a nonprofit member organization that supports our African American museums and African art museums nationally and also internationally. So we've been having our annual conference for 46 years. This year was our 46th conference in Baltimore, Maryland. And we've just been doing this work to make sure that our members have, just a place to call home, a space for people who are like-minded, iron sharpening iron, but then also, just allowing us to have a break and learn from one another and just be in fellowship. So we do that for about 2 or 3 days, usually in July or August, depending on the city. And it's just a great fellowshipping time. Just a great time to be together.
So the overall theme was that it was a museum family reunion, and that's the way that it felt.
Yes. We hear family reunion, and we also hear homecoming. So it's nice. It's nice. It's like a pilgrimage for everybody to just, kind of reconvene, take some time to just be with one another, and just have some downtime. I always say that in our museums, and as well as the Association of African American Museums, there are really no days off. We're always doing something, always preparing for some programming, rapid response situations and things like that. So it's just a time for us to have a reprieve.
And how did you get into this? Because I've been telling people for years, even when I was doing my national television show, that if I wasn't a journalist, I would be a history teacher. Oh. And now with me on the verge of opening up the Tubman Till Museum here in Southern California, and the fact that I love history and a journalist, I'm right at home. I am living my best life. And as I tell people, I'm blessed that my career is also my hobby. Yes. How did you get into preserving our history?
I kind of didn't have a choice.
Okay.
So I started out just, in middle school and high school doing our Black History Month programming with a dear mentor who just passed away last year, Mrs. Charlotte Johnson. And she did our Black History Month programming, and she just saw something in me where she said, I want you to assist. And I wound up doing that for several years. But then also, you just can't have just a little bit. Somebody's always going to ask you to do a little bit more. So part of, my charge was just also to make sure, and then we also had a bunch of book reports, but also to make sure that, we were pulling information and slighted stories of African American history and culture to the forefront. And then when I went to Virginia State University, I had my first internship at the university archives. And again, I was tapped on the shoulder to do some curatorial work for them, mainly during homecoming and Founders Day. And I was responsible for curating exhibits to have people understand, where we came from as far as Virginia State University was concerned. Then I did a year at Rutgers under Dr. Clement Price, and who was also a dear mentor, and I had a public history course. And in that course, I fell in love because it was truly the culmination of everything I've ever done. And one day I took him in, I said, we need to meet, we need to speak. And he said, okay. And I said, I need to leave. And he said, oh, well, where do you think you're going to go? And I said, I have to go to Howard because they have a public history program there. And Rutgers only had one class or two classes on public history. So I transferred to Howard, and the rest of it is just really history. Once I was at Howard, I learned about AAAM, and I became a member in 2005. And basically, AAAM has raised me.
Okay.
Hi, this is Mamie Till Mobley, the mother of the late Emmett Till. You're listening to the Jazz Spell with Eric J.
And I don't know if I told you the story, but Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley was my surrogate grandmother.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why I'm creating the Tubman Till Museum.
Okay.
And as a result, when I brought her to San Diego back in 2000, I got a lot of pictures, interviews, video, and I even spoke at her funeral. And I have video from that.
Wonderful. Oh, that's beautiful.
And then also, thank you, I did an event at the Richard Nixon Presidential Library back in January. And at that event, I had Don Lewis, Harpo from The Color Purple, Raj from What's Happening. They helped me kickstart this campaign.
Oh, brilliant.
Awesome. And then last note here, understand it is going to be in Charleston, North Carolina next year.
Yes, we'll be in Charleston in July of next year, and we are flipping over the website right now.
Okay, Dr. Vedette Coleman Robinson, the president of the Association of African American Museums, thank you so much for joining us on this special edition of the Cut Chronicles.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Okay, what we're going to do right now is continue on with some of the festivities that went down at the Harbor Party on Thursday night.
I can't hear you. Everybody sing this song with me right now. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Before I let you. Let's go.
Well, that's going to do it for this special edition of the Cut Chronicles as we brought you coverage of the Association of African American Museums Conference here at the Hilton at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. I've done some serious networking, met some new friends, and I'm excited about what the future has in store. In the meantime, I would love it if you would go to our website and check out our vision. It's TubmanTillMuseum.org. On behalf of Harriet Tubman, W.E.B. Du Bois, and also Frederick Douglass, I'm Eric J. Chambers bidding you and yours a very pleasant evening.
Let me see you just wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah.
I got them shaking their booties like congos, man. I'm shaking the city like quakes. My haters blue in the face like Gonzo, cause I'm breaking the cake, so let's bake. I'm taking the game's mine. Y'all witness the change, it's my time. Yeah, I'm new to the game, but y'all might wanna say you whack raps, daylight saving time. I can dance, homie, on two-step. Y'all looking at something like a true player. A girl told me that a man that can dance might could possibly get down with the tool in his pants. Now I'm a ladies, let me see it vibrate. And when it's over, you ain't gonna need your bird. Cause I'm a pro, make you bend your back low, then the pound it real fast, just like the percolate.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah.
Girl, wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. I say you moving your head, go ahead, bobble it. We can cradle the bed, I'm straight racking it. The girl say, man, like me, never right shit. Damn, I'm so explicit, but I can't help it, my flow ridiculous. Boy, got a gift like it gotta be Christmas. Swag on this like it gotta be gifted. The girls brought cameras, and they want pictures, and they gon' frame them to see that. Let a little bit while I'm saying my scriptures. Cause I leave you holy like you pray in the temple. One beat, I move with the letter of a pencil. And mine won't miss you, good night kiss you. Take a damn back, cause you got a pistol. And I don't think Donnie pick her up these issues.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby.